Tonight on the Godfathers of Podcasting, you slept with my stripper sister and now she's gay. Why I married a trans seahorse and a woman who slept with 251 men in 1 hour. All that and more tonight.
Welcome to the Godfathers of Podcasting, broadcasting live on the Shuli Network every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Now, in case y'all didn't know, they've been podcasting since before podcasting was even called podcasting. Archives of this show are available on every major podcast provider, and you can find video archives, merch, and more on their website, godfathersofpodcasting.com. Now, here are your hosts, two guys who have been broadcasting online since 1996. The Godfathers of Podcasting themselves, Donnie Da Silva and Chris Tidwell.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. That's Tid. I'm Donnie. We are the Godfathers. If you're joining us live right now on the Shuli Network in the chat, my man Chris Tidwell, he is monitoring what is going on in the chat because I'm not. But he will pay attention. And if you have questions, comments, roasts, whatever, throw it in there. And if it's good, we'll get it up on the screen. If it's tipped, it'll definitely get up on the screen. How are you, Tid?
Dude, get this. Somebody actually wrote in here. Kyoto Whiskers wrote in here. Are you ready for this? Bring back the Black Prophet.
Oh, Jesus, that's a way back playback.
That is a throwback and a half, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Yeah, I'm super excited this week because, I mean, we're here, of course, and we're up against the NFL draft. And, of course, you wearing your Toronto Maple Leafs jersey, playoff hockey happening right now as we speak. This is insane today. So thank you all for joining us here. We
got the plum time slot tonight. Eh?
What's that? Sorry,
we got the plum time slot tonight. We're up against everything.
Quite all right. I love the challenge. I love the challenge.
Let's go. By the way, to anyone who's listening or watching and saw that comment, bring back the Black Prophet. There was a show that Tid and I hosted many years ago, and there was this guy who was a certifiable genius.
Prophet. Oh,
he was a genius. Dante Ross was his name. I don't think we've ever publicly said who the Black Prophet was, but his name is Dante Ross. He was a guy from West Hollywood. He's a television producer now, works on a lot of reality TV shows, does stuff like that. Great guy. We had this idea for a character for him where he was going to be this angry, militant black guy, when really he was this very sweet, mild-mannered black guy. And we just said, what do you think of this idea? And it was kind of based on Angry Black from the Howard Stern show, but he took it to a crazy level and he wrote these hysterical 90-second, 2-minute little bits where he would rip on whatever the hell he wanted in this crazy voice that he created. He is we should get him back on this show.
That I would love to. Let's track him down. Let's get him back up there.
That would be fucking cool. Super talented guy, man. Hey, before we get to our featured guest, I want to ask you your thoughts on the passing of Jerry Springer.
I mean, 79 years old. He did it all. We know a number of people that appeared on the Jerry Springer show. I mean, I'm sure you do. Friends of this show have been on there, L'artiste was a guest on there, I think, one time. The Iron Sheik was on the Jerry Springer show. Jamie Dundee. Goddamn, Jamie Dundee was on the show. So there's been a ton of people. Jerry touched a lot of people's hearts. You loved seeing him at 3:00 in the afternoon, whatever it was. It was fantastic. Jerry was the man.
I remember many years ago when I interviewed Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. And he told me about his appearance on the Jerry Springer show where there was a sick kid there. I think he had cancer or something, and the kid was dying to meet Scott Hall. And at the time, he was the Intercontinental Champion in the WWF. Scott gave the kid the belt. Like, not a replica or a toy that they sell at Toys R Us. He gave him his legit belt. And this is in the old days when they didn't just give out belts to every charity. The company wasn't making the kind of scratch they are now. So he got a lot. Yeah, there it is. He got a lot of heat for doing this with The Office. And he's like, hey, man, the kid was going to die. Like, what do you? And he was telling me about all the heat he got for giving up the Intercontinental title to this kid. He's like, just make me a new one and shut up.
I mean, what are you going to say? No?
Yeah. Well, the kid didn't even ask for it. Scott just felt like, I got to give him something.
But I mean, if you're the office and he comes to you and he's like, yeah, this is what I do. What are you going to be like? Go get the fucking belt back from the kid. Hey, yeah. Scott, hey, Scott Hall knocking on some fucking dying kid's fucking door. Give me the belt back. No.
The other, and we could talk more about Jerry Springer with our guest if we want, but the other big passing this past week was Harry Belafonte, which probably best known for that, right?
Beetlejuice, yeah, of course.
I mean, the guy was an iconic singer, but that song is in a different world, right?
It as soon as you hear it, it brings up memories of when you're a kid. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
Daylight come and me won't go home.
Come, Mr. Tally Man.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Sorry to see that, Mr. Belafonte is no longer with us, no longer making music, but the music that he made will live on forever.
Yeah. And he's not the Beetlejuice guy. The guy had a long career way before that ever happened.
Sure.
I was supposed to go see him live and in concert at a Calypso festival. I think I was in my early 20s, and I was supposed to go with someone, and then we ended up breaking up, myself and the person I was supposed to go with. So I didn't go. And I had the tickets, but I didn't want to go by myself, and I didn't know who to ask. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm not going to see Belafonte. And I still regret it because I never had another opportunity to do it.
Well, there you go.
It sucks, right?
I guess. I don't know. I never had a chance to go see him, so I've got nothing to compare it to, But yeah, I mean, sucks for you because you should have gone. Maybe
don't
you should
let
have been nicer
breakups
to that
make
person.
Decisions for you. That's the bottom line.
That's all. That's the way it always happens. You know what I mean?
Fuck that shit.
Very quickly, let's just say a couple of hellos. Gina Bobino, obviously, in the chat. Hello again. Corey Adam is in there. The Shuli Network. Ohm is in there. Waver is in there. Thank you very much to everybody who's joining us. Donnie.
Hello there.
Let's bring in our boy.
Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time right now for the big hello. And this week's guest is a favorite around here. He's been working his ass off as a stand-up for more than 2 decades, making towns all over North America. More importantly, he's sincerely one of our favorite comics because he's one of the best at just fucking with people. Like, I'm sure he writes jokes, but to be honest, why? Like, he doesn't need to. He's the undisputed king of crowd work, and he can do an entire set of just screwing with you. So hecklers, you've been warned. You've seen him on Just for Laughs, Sirius Radio, MTV. He was apparently, according to ChatGPT, the funniest comic in Canada and was a finalist for NBC Stand Up for Diversity. He's got a tour coming up that will take him from New Jersey to Connecticut to New York, Virginia, Charlotte, Atlanta, Ottawa, Montreal, Toronto, and that's just in May. This dude is busy and he's everywhere. I can't wait till he comes to town. It's going to be so cool to finally catch up. Ladies and gentlemen, this intro's long enough. I'll stop teasing. Get ready to laugh. This dude is pleasing. Crowd work so smooth. Our boy is breezing. He'll crack a smile, start his cheesing. They always fuck his name, and I know the reason. It's not lesson. This is our pal, the great Jeff Leeson.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Woo! That was
That's it, huh?
I don't
You gonna
I
you,
feel like
you
I
want us to
should
clip
just
that?
leave right now. That was
That's it.
unbelievable, man. That was the greatest introduction I've ever gotten anywhere. Ever.
It's not
You
easy to
want us
rhyme with Leeson.
No, I
you want us
know.
to you want us to clip that, and then you can just have that played before you come out every time?
Oh, can you? Can you?
Yo, fuck you,
Well,
Tid. I was
it's
trying to
cheaper than
angle
paying
a,
the guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was trying to
No, he
angle a
doesn't.
gig where I go on tour with him.
Yeah, no, he doesn't want none of that. He doesn't want to. You take up too much fucking space in the fucking van, first of all.
It'd be a lot, yeah. Economically, it'd be better if we just had the clip. That'd be
See, and for
That'd
a
be
nominal
great.
fee, Jeff, that can be yours. We'll
You
chat
ever
about it
watch
later.
Done.
Jeff? You
Done.
ever watch?
I'm in.
Have you ever watched the comedy show from back in the day, Flight of the Conchords?
I know who they are, but I've never seen the show.
The show is hysterical. So there's this episode in season 1 where it's Brett and Jermaine. They're a 2-man band, and Brett decides to quit the band because he wants to get a real job and get a girlfriend. So he's like, look, I'll just record my part on a tape and you can just play the cassette tape. So Jermaine goes to play the gig and he plays the tape with Jermaine's part. And then Brett shows up after the gig. He's like, hey guys, I'm here. Well, the gig's over. We used the tape. Well, okay, but tape wasn't as good as me, was it? And Jermaine's like, I didn't really notice the difference. And then they did a pros and cons list on whether or not to kick Brett out of the band. Brett versus the tape.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
So, anyways, I love that show. If you've never seen it, it's worth a watch.
I hear about it all the time. I badly want to see it because I've only seen their sets at like Just for Laughs and like short little like an HBO special of theirs.
Yeah.
So I would love to see the show. I hear nothing but great things.
For 2 straight years, it was the funniest thing in comedy. Like, not just on TV, it was the funniest thing in comedy for 2 straight years. And then the network tried to renew them for a third, but the show was a smash. So they said, okay, pay us properly. And they're like, well, we're just going to renew you at the same number. And they're like, go fuck your hat. And they took off, and now they're winning. They've won a bunch of Oscars. Brett has run a bunch of stuff for writing all the music on the Muppet movies. And,
Oh wow.
yeah, and Jermaine is Jermaine was just in the new Avatar film. Like, those guys are fucking getting paid now. You know, they went from being broke ass New Zealanders to getting paid.
Damn.
Yeah, there's those boys. Love them.
That's awesome.
Not
Yeah,
like they're
comedy
living on
genius.
but they're not living on the road like you are, Jeff.
And not anymore.
No, it sounds like they're doing much better than that.
How's that been going for you? This is your first time home in how long?
Yeah, my first real time, like for any stretch of time, my first 2-week stretch here at home since January 4th, I think I left.
Wow.
And was pretty consistent all the way through till early April. I was back home for a few days in April to do a couple Ontario dates and then back out for another 2 weeks and then just got home on Monday night. So yeah, this is my first 2-week stint off from traveling at least this year.
And as usual, every time you join us, it looks like somebody has recently robbed you.
Yeah. They didn't get my lamp though. Look at that. Look at
That's
that.
all they didn't get.
Yeah, they didn't get that lamp. They got
They got
everything
most
else.
of the blinds.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, they got all of them. I don't know what you're seeing. That's part of a door. They got every piece
Oh,
of the
is
blind.
is that what that is?
Yeah, those are all gone.
Tremendous. Jeff,
It's
I've
so
always
funny.
wondered this, and because you travel so much and you're in so many different cities, what is your fucking demographic?
Oh, of people that are coming to shows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So because of some Facebook videos that did really well, there's sort of an older demographic. So I would say it's anywhere from mid 30s to like early 70s usually are the people that are coming to these shows. It's very rarely, it's not a lot of like early 20s, not a lot of even mid 20s. It's usually like early 30s up to we've had a couple like senior citizens like at these shows. So yeah, quite a wide range of demographic.
Really?
Mhm.
Have you had to have now? You say when you get these older people and stuff like that, and you're going to some of these, you're hitting every market. Not always some of the big ones. You're hitting the small ones and that too, right?
Absolutely.
I can only imagine some of the generational racism that you've had to deal with in some of these small towns, because you do a lot of crowd work, right? Like your whole like you are a crowd work fucking guy.
Yeah.
Have you had anything take you by surprise so far since you've been out there this year?
Not racially, no. And I stay away from any like subject or topic like that. So it's very rare at any of my shows that anything like that would transpire. And obviously, it's I haven't seen anything, luckily,
Good.
that was like wild like that at all. My crowd, you know what? The people that have come to the shows, quite honestly, they've been some of the best. Like, I've really enjoyed the way that they first of all, they know how to act at a comedy show, so they're not too over the top or too crazy, and they're really like generous and nice to the staff is what I've heard from a lot of comedy clubs and venues where they're getting service and stuff. They're like, your crowd is like, they're very generous, they're very respectful, and they tip, they're like not stingy with finances and stuff. So I've been really lucky in that way, where most of the people that have come to these shows are like really respectful and really like just good like very blue collar, hardworking, people. And even in the smaller towns, like, it's just whatever, if they have any of that stuff, they didn't bring it into the show, and I don't stir it up. So I think that combination makes it sort of harder for any of that stuff to take place.
I'm guessing too. I mean, you go to a Jeff Leeson show. I mean, it's pretty rare, I think, that someone's walking in off the street not knowing who they're going to see for the most part, right? I think it's kind of like you're going to Gallagher, you're going to get soaked with fucking watermelon. You go to a Jeff Leeson show, you might get fucked with, right? So, or if not fucked with, you might get called on and asked, "Excuse me, sir, what do you do for a living?" And that's going to open up a whole can of worms. So, I mean, like, I made the joke in the intro, but do you have bits that you go to, or is it all crowd work now?
So what I try to do, if I can, is like create a very as unique of an experience for that crowd as possible every night. So like when they leave, even if they didn't like me, because not everybody's going to like a show, it's just just natural. But even if they're like, I didn't like that show, they can't argue with the fact that they'd never see it in the same way again. It's not like if you went to a Friday show and came back on Saturday, they'd be like, oh, damn, I saw him say the exact same words in the exact same way. And so I try to give it a very unique experience for the audience as much as I can. That being said, sometimes audiences are not willing to go with you, or they're a little bit more reserved, or there's not a lot to play around with. And so in that case, I'll either start talking about them, like what I think they might say, or give them more of like a personality, more of a character, and start playing around that way. Or I'll talk a little bit more about the town and make it like unique to the area, what I've experienced, that kind of thing. And then if that doesn't work, then I have bits that I can just go into, and that have worked over the years, that are kind of like the safety net, where it's like, hey, I've tried these things to make it unique and personal. you rejected those. So
Shit all over my
Yeah.
ideas.
and usually, quite honestly, if we get to that point, it's been a terrible show, and
Yeah.
they're not like the crowd for whatever reason is just not into it. Not every crowd is a comedy crowd. That happens a lot more at like corporate shows and private events and stuff like that. It's very rare that would happen at a comedy club or like a music venue where they specifically bought tickets, but happens way more where they're like, hey, and now since you've had your coffee and tea, here's a comedian you've never heard of that you probably won't like here as part of our work function that you all have to be at, asshole. You know what I mean? Like that's where it's way more common where you're like, fuck, I got, these people have nothing, and I have, we're not on the same page here.
So if you're going to your third backup safety bit in a show, you're sweating. You're thinking like, let me get paid and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So like, okay, I'm very like, my thing is, I'm so grateful every time somebody gives me money just to do this and not have another job that like I do absolutely everything I possibly can to break the like to try every single thing. I try not to get into the headspace of like, fuck this. Fuck this. I just want to finish this shit and get the hell out of here. I try as hard as I can. But that being said, there are nights where you've thrown everything at the wall. They reject everything, and you're just like, well, I mean, at least I've already been paid for this, or I am being paid for this, and at least this wasn't a total, complete waste of my time. Because I've also done the nights where nothing works and you don't get paid. I've done, hundreds of those. Where you're like,
that's where it's wrong, Jeff. You got to get paid first, bro. Always get paid first.
No, I mean like early on in the days where it was like amateur nights where you're just an amateur, so you don't get paid. Yeah, and so I remember those days of like, that's why it's never. I try so hard to like. I really want people to walk away, honestly, no matter the situation, whether it's a corporate event, private event, or public show, where I want people to walk away and be like, I genuinely enjoyed that. I really did. Like that's. So I try everything first, and then eventually sometimes I have to be like, all right, well, fuck it.
that was a good show. He didn't have to whip his dick out. Yeah, that's what you're looking for, right?
Yeah, I do close every show that way. Did I already mention that?
That's a good closer.
Yeah, I mean, I say all the words I need to say, and then during the applause at the end, I just take it out just for a brief moment. It's
we have
very
special
small, though, so a lot of people don't even realize it's out. They just think that's an odd look for jeans up in that area.
The Shuley Network says that's called the Canadian windmill.
Yes, it is. Yes. Oh, okay. So it has reached you guys. Good.
See, they know.
Yeah.
I was gonna say when you mentioned that you're not always getting paid in advance, I could hear Tid's thoughts, and it was
at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
I know that the boys have got some clips or a clip of you doing your thing. Austin, can we take a look at Jeff in action?
Oh no, is this where I whip my dick out?
I hope so.
Oh damn.
What's your name?
Yeah, it is.
And you are?
Don't go all the way to the end.
Karen? Nice. You took your time with that. Because it's Karen, is that why? See, now that's shitty what's happened to you. It is. I feel for you, Karen. I really do. Damien, what do you do for work, sir?
I'm a practice manager of mental health and so forth.
What's hilarious is that you're a practice manager and you're dating a Karen. That just seems like, again, I know this isn't the truth. I know. You're lovely. I mean, no disrespect by this. It's just the name. But what it sounds like is at home, he's in front of you, and you're like, I had the 10% discount. And he's like, okay, that was good. Let's do it one more time.
I got to tell you, one of my closest friends, her name is Karen, and she's a bit of a Karen.
Oh shit, really?
Oh, yeah, she lives up to the name. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I rib her all the time because like she's the type that'll be like, I'm sorry. The food here, not satisfactory. Take it away.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Wow.
the best one recently, she's going to kill me for saying this on air, but I don't give a fuck. We were out for dinner at a wing place. And she's like, she's saying to the server, I don't know if I want regular French fries or wedges. She's like, well, it's up to you. And she's like, could you bring me one wedge so I could try it? And I'm looking at her like,
wedge.
I'm like, this isn't Baskin Robbins.
Wow.
And she's like, well, if they have them laying around, she's like, we don't have them laying around. They drop them to order. Well, can you check? She said no.
Can you check? Maybe you
Wow.
missed the area where they put them. Maybe wherever you were serving and picking up orders, they were in a different area. Can you go look? I feel like there's a. I feel like
Could you
Here we
grab
go.
one off someone else's plate?
there's definitely a pile of wedges back there. I can't have one.
Here we go. The Shuley Network says, well, not all Canadians are nice. And Corey Adams says, a Canadian standoff is when two people insist the other one enters an elevator first.
It's not bad.
That's it.
I've done that.
Oh.
I've been in that.
Wow.
No,
And
please.
by the way, for those that are in the chat and wondering, my Twitter and all of my socials very quickly is at Notorious TID. And yes, I do enjoy getting sexually harassed there. So feel free.
Nice.
There you go.
Not you, Jeff.
Okay, I'll stop. I
There you go.
suppose.
Oh, Gina Bobina wants to sexually harass Ted. Speaking of sexual
Gina
harassment, and
Bobina, that's awesome.
speaking of harassment, and also, Leeson, you talked about whipping it out at the end of the show. There was a story.
Only at the end, though.
Yeah, no, that's smart. You end with the money shot. There was a story from last week, right after we went off the air last week. American rapper Designer exposed himself on a flight from Thailand back to the U.S.
Oh, shit.
to the flight attendant.
Indecently.
Yeah, he literally he pulled a Jeff Leeson and he whipped it out in front of the flight attendant.
He didn't even do it decently, according to this. It was indecently exposed.
Indecently. Yeah.
How would you do
Unbelievable.
it? How would you decently expose yourself?
I
It
don't
would
know,
have a
put some
bow tie. It would
flowers
have a
around.
bow tie on it. It would have a little
Absolutely.
bow tie, like you would, yeah.
Very decent. That's decent.
This is some word soup bullshit. Like they could have cut that headline right down. That's a little redundant. But apparently, according to Designer, he was performing overseas. He did a show in Thailand. He got super sick, had to go to the hospital, got some meds. He claims when he was flying back, the meds had him all fucked up and he pulled his dick out in front of the flight attendant. Tid, we've played this game before where I ask you, what drugs was he on? What drugs makes you pull your dick out, Tid?
Me? Oh, none.
Is there such a drug that's going to make a guy pull his dick out?
I mean, no. There's some, Viagra. Viagra is going to make you pull your dick out because you're going to need to get that thing taken care of. And that would make sense because you're on at least a 4-hour flight, right? So you might as well, and the flight attendant, I mean, she's there too. So it makes sense. That's probably what it was, is I think that he was just looking for a little bit of action.
He's claiming his quote, or at least his publicist quote, was, "Mental health is real, guys. Please pray for me." Leeson, what do you think? What's your take on this, dude? And by the way, you're super blurry all of a sudden.
Yeah, I know. I was just going to say, am I blurry to you guys or am I having a fucking stroke right now?
I think I'm on the same meds as Designer.
Jeff
Yeah,
Leeson went into soft
now.
focus. He's got the Susan Lucci look and the soft focus, like a daytime soap opera. He's got the daytime soap opera thing going on right now.
He's ready for his close-up.
That just happened out of nowhere, right? That's
Yeah,
really
it did.
weird. That's really weird. Give me 1 sec. Let me try something.
All right. Jeff's jumping out.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you claim mental health, because what kind of mental health medication is making you pull your dick out for a flight attendant?
Well, that's just it. Kyoto Whisker says it was probably downers and beer, out of it, and pissy. Yeah, I could see something like that.
I've never had that much beer.
Cakehorn says, I'm high on life and my dick is out. That's a good way to listen to this show. I recommend listening to this show that way, actually.
Jeff's just backstage trying to get his shit all figured out. We don't know what's going on there. Oh, there he is.
Hey,
That
he
worked,
cleaned
right?
he
Yes.
cleaned the him off of his camera. That's what
All
it was.
right.
You had a little bit too much you on the camera.
Yeah, sorry
Bill
guys.
Blur.
I heard designer pulled his dick out, and I thought, well, let me try that. And I didn't realize when it hit the air that it was going to do that. And I apologize for getting a little on my camera there. My apologies. In answer to your question, it turns out water is the drug that'll make you pull your dick out. So, and I understand they do have that on flights.
I'm glad you fixed your camera because I didn't want to miss any of your home decor.
Absolutely not. That's one thing they didn't get is my camera.
There's another story here that I thought was kind of funny, and it was I feel like I could just tee these up and then let Jeff respond to it. There was cops in Riverside County, Jeff, in California. They were undercover trying to bust a dude on a meth deal. So they sold this dude 60 pounds of meth, like $35,000 worth of meth. So the drug dealer made the exchange, took the 60 pounds of meth, loaded it into his car and said, "Thanks, guys." And he drove away. And then they're like, "Oh shit, we should probably not let him drive away." So they chased him and he just got away. Like this is something like out of like the Dukes of Hazzard. Like who's the sheriff? Roscoe Pico train? Like I don't know how this happens.
So they sell him the meth? They sell him the meth?
Yeah, the undercovers.
So here's the thing. They got the meth off of somebody else, had the meth, sold the meth back to another dealer on the street. The dealer then watched him get into his car and allowed this to happen and said, "Oh shit, we should stop him." And imagine this, a guy with 60 pounds of meth wasn't going to fucking pull over for the cops. So he speeds off out of nowhere and they're like, "Oh, it's too dangerous. We're just going to let him go." Well, now there's 60 pounds of meth back on the streets in this town.
Like what in the Beverly Hills Cop?
What a day for that guy.
Right?
What a day. That guy should be, he doesn't even know this. Well, maybe he does now, but at the time he had no idea that he should be going straight from there to buying a lottery ticket, because this guy is the luckiest fucking guy on earth. 60 pounds of meth with the cops who sold. He got meth from the cops. It's probably good meth. The cops aren't getting shitty meth.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever gotten free drugs from the cops?
Not 60 pounds of it.
But wait, hold on. But you've gotten free drugs from the cops?
I've done a few corporate shows for cops. They're very generous with their meth.
All right. I've gotten free weed from cops. I have had that happen. I've gotten free weed from cops, and not because they were my friends or anything like that. It was because legit, and this is a true story. One time when I was a kid, our house got robbed, and the cops ended up busting the guys that robbed it. And they said, "Hey, you need to come down to the station and identify the things that are yours." So when we went down to the station, my mom had this, I'm not even shitting you, had one of these old school tin cans that she kept like hairpins and shit like that in it. You know what I mean? And they get, "Yep, that's mine, all this stuff." And we get it back and we get to the house and she opens up this can and the pins were all gone. And they had like little quarter-ounce baggies of weed shoved in this fucking can. And the cops just gave it back to us. So, yeah.
That's amazing.
That was in a city that you played recently, Jeff Leeson. That was in Spokane, Washington. Thank you very much.
Wow, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
You used to live there?
Yeah, I used to live in Spokane.
Wow, that's I love Spokane. That was my first time ever there. That's crazy. I didn't even know that story, and I already loved it. Now I love it even more.
It's good cops, man.
Yeah.
He's been chased out of a lot of towns.
That's amazing. Wow. Yeah, no, that's 17.
Well, now there's
things to
18 things to do in Spokane, Washington.
Yeah, ask them for the weed.
All of them are leave.
Excuse me, I'm looking for the tinweed in the tin can, please.
Exactly.
Hey, Jeff, we were talking about, writing some bits for those days when the crowd isn't playing along. And I had this idea because over the last couple weeks, I have been obsessed with Chat GPT. And I know you're on the road and you're a busy guy, so I don't know if you've even had a chance to look at this thing.
No, I haven't. I just recently learned even what it is.
So it's artificial intelligence that is so crazy, and it actually can learn and learn more about you and what you need. So I had an idea. If you give it some parameters for a bit, let's see if ChatGPT can write a bit for you that's actually good enough that you could fucking recycle.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
So, Austin, let's pull that up. Let's pull up the ChatGPT interface. So you decide on the parameters of the joke, and then let's see what it comes up with.
Okay. I love explain quantum computing in simple terms.
Now, I will tell you, the one
That'd be a
limitation,
hilarious joke.
the one limitation with ChatGPT, it won't do anything filthy.
No, that's okay. So what do I have to give? Like, what do I put in the?
You
in the
literally
thing
talk
here?
to it like a person. Write me a joke about this, this, and this.
Okay, write me chat. Am I doing it now, or does he have to type it in? Am
There
I
you go.
actually talking to it? Oh, write
Yeah.
me a joke. Amazing. Okay, write me a joke about. We need something that can go viral. So what's happening in the world? Write me a joke about what's going on in the world right now. Anybody? What's happening out there?
There
Write
was
me a-
cops that let a guy get away with
Yeah.
60 pounds of weed.
Yeah,
Or
write
meth.
me a joke. Write me a joke about the police. Here's a lighthearted police joke for you. Okay, what do they say? Why did the police officer bring a ladder to work? Because he heard there was going to be some. Oh yeah, fuck! This thing's
Some
on fire.
high-level
This is my new
surveillance.
closer.
Wow.
That's how I'm gonna. Right before I pull my dick out, I'm gonna be like, "Hey guys, why did the police officer bring a ladder to work? Does anybody know why? No, because he heard there was going to be some high-level surveillance. Huh? Huh? Didn't like that one? Here's my dick.
Wow.
Thank you
Austin,
guys
let's-
very much. Thank you for having me in Spokane, Washington.
Thank you, Spokane.
If you need me, I'll be outside smoking weed with the cops. Thank you.
Wow.
Austin,
That
let's try
is-
this as a prompt. Write a stand-up comedy bit about undercover cops that let a criminal get away with 60 pounds of meth. Because if you say write it as a bit, it won't be like a setup and punchline. It'll be a little bit more. I'm curious to see
Wow.
what it does. Oh, for fuck's sakes! It doesn't want to
Yeah,
make
it's
fun of
giving you the
cops. Okay.
beans. Yeah, fuck Chat GPT.
Fuck.
Fuck Chat GPT and everything that it stands for, putting fucking people out of work like that.
Did you just say
Shot
it's
in the
giving
face.
you the beans? Did I hear it's
Yeah.
giving you the beans?
Yeah, you did. You can't have that either, Jeff. All right.
What is that? What is that?
Why did the chef refuse to give you the beans? Because he knew you just end up spilling the tea. Oh my
This
god!
Chat GPT must be run like this is horrible. I know female comics that write better stuff.
Oh my god. Giving
right.
you the beans. What does giving you the beans mean?
I
The
don't know.
beans, the balls, giving you the balls. The beans.
It's like fucking with you? Like messing with you? Yeah, okay. Give me the balls. I'm sorry, but I'm unable to fulfill that request. That's what I'm saying to my
Unbelievable.
girlfriend next time she's like, give me more. I'll be like, I'm sorry, I'm unable to fulfill that request. I've given you all that you can have there.
Chat
Right?
GPT is a tease, says the Shuli Network. No kidding. There's a story that came out, a TikToker in Australia this past week, Jeff.
Pulled
She
his dick out
apparently-
on a plane, right?
No, she didn't pull her dick out.
Oh,
but she's
shit,
been-
it's a woman. Oh, fuck. I
She's
thought
been
we were-
getting pranked. She's been getting pranked by someone. She has no idea who. And over the last 3 days, more than 150 soft drinks and Gatorade bottles have been delivered to the front door of her place. And she has no idea where it's coming from. I think there's a photo there. Yeah, you can see in little bags, and they just keep showing up constantly. And she has no idea where this is coming from. Clearly, it's all the same person because they're coming in bags and it's always the same number of bottles. And she has no clue why. And I'm thinking somebody with a lot of money is really pranking the shit out of this woman. So,
I mean, this sounds like just a lovely gesture.
I mean, I'm not
How's this
complaining.
how's
I've
this
got-
a prank? This woman's.
Yeah.
What are
I
you
think it's
complaining
goodwill.
for, lady? This is just a nice thing to do.
If money was no object, how would
Oh,
you
yeah.
prank someone? And I throw this question to the chat as well. But if money was no object, how would you prank someone?
Ooh, that's a fucking great question.
Mm.
Oh man, that's a great question. You know, there was, and I would never want this to happen to me. And I almost don't even want to say it because I don't want this to ever happen to me. But
Oh, now you have to say-
one of the best pranks I've ever heard is from 50 Cent, and he did it to Ja Rule or
Yeah.
somebody like
We
that.
bought the
Where
first four
Oh,
seats.
I know what you're talking
First
about.
four rows.
he bought the first 4 rows
Yeah.
of a concert of everywhere that he could see from the stage. He looked out and so it looked like nobody was there, and then everybody like was whatever. But
That's not a prank. That's assault.
yeah, I would just never want that to happen. But I always thought that'd be so hilarious to do to a comedian, but like a famous. They would have to be famous, not a struggling comic, but like to do to another like very famous comedian and buy every seat so it looks so like. Technically, it was sold out, which they would do. But when they walk out, there's literally nobody, not a person in the seats.
Wow. What would you
So
do,
funny.
Donnie? What would you do if money was no object and you could prank one of your best friends? What would you do?
I don't know. Fuck. I legit. I'm not the pranking type. I don't know. What about
I know what I would do. I would
What would you do?
literally, okay, let's say it was you. I would throw you on a plane and I would fly you to the middle of like Europe. Fantastic
gift.
idea, right? That's a fucking wonderful gift.
Thank
But then
you.
I would make sure that your passport and wallet was stolen as soon as you got there. I would make arrangements. You would only have one phone to be able to get a hold of me. I would make arrangements to get you back, right? To get you back, but you'd have to like take a train to here, take a bus from there to here, rent a car, ride in a cart. You know what I mean? It would be like planes, trains, and automobiles of just you trying to get out of Europe. That
I got to take
would- a
a rickshaw, and then I got to
Yeah.
get on a unicycle.
yeah, like a one person, Great Escape, oh, that would be fantastic.
Junior Coltrane says, if I could prank my best friend, I'd bang his wife, then tell him it was just a joke.
God damn.
Sounds like somebody's reflecting.
Yeah, he doesn't even need money for that. I mean, he can make that happen tomorrow, no?
Depends how much the wife likes him.
God damn. This whole thing was predicated on money is no object. And this guy's like, I'll tell you what I do. I fuck my friend's wife. She seems to like rich guys.
I'm glad she has a choice.
Yeah, no shit. Damn. That guy's so real for that guy. He was like, this is my time I need to get this off my
I need to
chest.
tell somebody. I need to tell
Somebody
somebody
needs-
right fucking
See,
now.
they're talking right to me.
We said off the top, Jeff, to us, you're the undisputed king of crowd work. But if there is somebody out there right now that's making a run at that title, It's a dude who has gone absolutely viral on social media over the last year. That's Matt Rife.
Oh wow, yeah, he's awesome.
He's unreal to the
He's
point
great.
where
Fuck him.
would I
What's
fuck
that?
him? Sure.
Yeah.
I watch
You
Matt
would.
Rife
So pretty.
and I think to myself, oh my God, like his brain is so quick.
Yeah.
He's so quick. And then I started making a comparison, and I wonder, this brought me to my question for you. Our former co-host on this show, Danny O, is a hip-hop icon in Canada, and he's maybe the best freestyle rapper that ever lived. I've literally been to freestyle battles with him and watched as guys on stage are freestyle rapping, making up their verses, and Dan doesn't know what they're going to say, but he anticipates it because of the rhyme pattern, the scheme, the wording, and he will say the last word of each line with the guy saying it. And the guy's making it up on the spot, but Dan can predict. So then I think to myself, when you watch a guy do crowd work, do you sit there and go, well, I know what I would say to that fucking audience person? And then do you evaluate and go, well, what he said might have been better than what I thought of, or I think my line would have been better. Do you do that kind of contrast and comparison, or do you ever sit there and go, oh shit, that guy had the same punchline I would have come up with?
Great question. No, I think for me, what I do specifically is so in the moment
Sure.
that if I'm like watching it while I'm just scrolling or just sitting somewhere in the car or something, that wouldn't even enter what I would do wouldn't even enter my mind, because it's such a specific mode and mindset I have to be in the moment to like come up with it. So I can just look at it and enjoy it as a fan, and just as a comic, be in awe of how quick he did it. The like the basics, not the basics, but the fundamentals of it, like what he was thinking, where he's going to go, that kind of thing. Like just kind of watch and enjoy it. It's hard to say what I would do, because every situation, even if it's the same words from people, but it's two different people in two different scenarios, it would be two different responses in my head. So like when I watch something on the phone, I'm totally out of it. I'm not even in the audience. So there's like, I go by like energy of the crowd, what they've laughed at so far, what are they, dirty or clean, like, you know, so there's so many like intricacies of each reaction that I'm curious to know. Often when I see it, I'm curious to know more of the situation, like how did those people end up in the show, how did he get on to them, did they call something out, did he go to them because of a specific thing he saw, like a shirt or a drink or something like that. So yeah, I can sort of get that out of my head and just kind of watch it as a fan. And he's amazing. Like he's so good, he's so likable. People that come to his shows, like they just fucking adore this guy. And obviously his demographic is very female because he looks the way he looks. But as a dude, you're not looking at him being like, this fucking pretty boy is, you know what I mean? You can actually enjoy the things he's saying as well. He's not just a good looking guy that's mildly funny. He's a very talented guy who also happens to be very
and then
looking.
guys like him because he comes off like a bit of a fuck boy, right?
Totally, yeah. He's total like he's very cool and like humble and down to earth too. So he doesn't come across like he's fucking everything that moves or can, and is also rich and like, you know what I mean? Like he's not coming across that way, which I think resonates with a lot of guys as well.
There's a great bit he just uploaded this week where he's doing a set. I forget what city he's in, but this very attractive blonde woman is sitting there and she says, you've been looking very sad, so we brought you a present. So she hands him a gift bag. He's like, what the fuck is this? It's a t-shirt, and the t-shirt says, I came to this city and all I got was this t-shirt and a blowjob.
Yeah. And then he gets cookies. She gives him cookies,
that's right. And then there's cookies. And then he tries the cookies that she baked for him, and he's like, blowjob's gonna have a hard time beating these cookies. And like the whole bit is genius. He goes and spends the next 10 minutes hitting on this woman. And then somehow the conversation comes up where someone says, you should see a picture of her daughter. And he looks at the 21-year-old, that's your daughter. Okay, I'm going to date you for 10 years. Then I'm going to upgrade to her.
Yeah.
Like, he is so like unbelievable. And, you know, and what your answer about the crowd work makes complete sense. You're in the moment, but I was looking at it from the perspective of, because I don't do what you do. So I'm looking at it from the perspective of that's a muscle, right? And you got to build that muscle. So when you're not performing and you're watching others, I was thinking, is it like the actor who's an asshole to watch a movie with because he spoils everything, or the drummer that you don't want to go to a concert with because he's sitting there playing along with everything? You know, like that's my mindset. But clearly you're a little more well-adjusted than that, which is nice.
Yeah, I don't know, because I usually see these things when I'm by myself. So if somebody was around me that wasn't a comic or something,
Right.
I might ruin it for them by being, you know, I don't know that necessarily, but I know when I watch it, I can at least just sit back, enjoy it, and be like, wow, that was a really good, you know, he's so good at it. So there's a lot of people that upload videos, especially crowd work stuff, that are it's really not like they're just inexperienced or something with it, and you're looking at it and you're like, wow, that I would never have let that go out into public. Whereas for him, it's like actually enjoyable and very like good, you know, comedy.
When you were a kid rushing home from school, did you flip on Jerry Springer?
No, I mean, I obviously
TV.
Yeah, I didn't. I got robbed. Whoever did this has been doing this my whole life. So, no,
could you
know
imagine if you were a victim of a fucking serial robber that like just every time you left to go on vacation, you came back and there's just place was just fucking emptied? And it turns out to be the same person.
That's why I'm here. I'm making a plea. Please stop robbing me. This has gone on since I was a kid. You robbed my home then. As soon as I moved out, you somehow found me. I've lived in several different cities. Please stop the madness. Sir,
I'm just saying,
madam, whoever you are, please.
I'm just saying, Tid's background went from being a black curtain to now having a lot of shit. So I think I found your thief.
Well, that's okay. As long as he didn't take my Darth Vader holding his arm up in the air statue and my Jason mask, then
it's fucking Godzilla, guy.
Oh, fuck. Oh, good. Well, I had a Darth Vader one, so I know it wasn't good.
Yeah, no, nerdy shit to the guy beside me. He's got all the fucking that nerdy shit. He's got like the Thanos I'll fucking fist you glove over there in the fucking corner.
You have the perfect I will kill you setup.
Yeah. Try stealing my shit. Stealing my shit.
Yeah,
and see what fucking happens.
I should have consulted with you before I. Oh,
this
damn.
guy's got the mighty
damn.
fist of pride over here.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
On the end. Sorry, Tid. On the end of your thing, is that a Jace? Is that a who's
Michael Myers?
Oh, Michael Myers. That's the one. Okay, yeah.
Big horror fan, eh, Leeson?
That's so good. What's the thing on the wall with all the is it logos?
We're just doing a tour of Tid's studio.
What's that?
Oh, they're kabuki masks. They're all little different, fucking different kabuki masks. Yeah.
They look like, from this angle, they look like those hockey things you used to get in a case of beer.
The Dairy Queen football helmets you used to fucking get, the little tiny things like the baseball fucking hard helmets. And yes, man.
yeah, that's what it looked like from like far out. That's what it looked like.
Bro, if somebody wants to make the trade, I will take those fucking helmets all day long. So like, hit me up, straight the fuck up.
Yeah, I always wanted to collect all of them. I'm sorry. Okay, I cut you off. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I was just gonna say, because we are running out of fucking time here, but I want people to get a full spectrum. Like, where are you on the road to next? What is the plan?
Oh my God.
When are we going to see
everywhere?
You? Yeah. What's the plan?
Yeah, I'm going. So the May 11th, things kick off in New Jersey. We go from there down to Atlanta. So it's like Connecticut, New York, Virginia, North Carolina. We got Raleigh, Charlotte, Greenville, South Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia. Then back to Canada very briefly. So it's Ottawa, Montreal, Toronto. Ottawa's my birthday, actually, May 24th. And then 25th, Montreal, May 26th, Toronto. And then back to the U.S., Clayton, New York. A little bit of time off, and then in June, doing a bunch of stuff throughout the U.S., Omaha, Des Moines, St. Louis, first time there, Fort Wayne, Buffalo, Syracuse, and Albany, all throughout New York, Marlborough, Massachusetts, Stamford, Connecticut, Cleveland, Ohio, Dayton, Louisville, Savannah, Jacksonville, Orlando, Gainesville. It's not on this, but it's being added, Fort Lauderdale, and then Tampa in July, which is going to be, I'm going to probably die. But yeah, so that's what's going on leading up till July, and tickets for all of those are at jeffleesoncomedy.com.
Wow.
That's crazy to look at that. Like the first time we had you on this show, we were deep in the throes of the pandemic. And so you weren't going anywhere, right? And now look at you. Like, look at you, dude. You are everywhere.
Yeah, it was a crazy it was a crazy couple of years there. But you know what? Actually, what it forced me to do was really focus on content, getting out more clips and more stuff led to an online fan base. And those are the people that have started buying tickets, which has allowed me to go to more markets and stuff. So I'm very grateful. You know, looking back, like in the moment, you're obviously like, what the fuck is going on? Looking back, it was actually the best thing that could have happened to me because it forced me to get off the road, look at content, build that online community. And then so when I go back out, ticket sales are at an all-time high. And so I'm very grateful. It was not fun or pleasant to go through at the time. But, you know, sometimes in life, you look back on shit and you're like, damn, that was so difficult then. But you look back on it with fresh eyes and you go, fuck, but if it didn't happen, what would I even be doing right now? So, yeah, crazy time, that's for sure. But I'm really grateful and extremely grateful to everybody that's bought a ticket and people that are coming up. A lot of places I've never been before. First time in New York City, I get to play a show there in May, which is like, I've been there, but I've never like experienced any comedy stuff there at all. So I'm very excited.
What a great city for comedy. I'm personally pissed that I'm not going to be able to make your Toronto date. I'm just not. I'm not free that night. But
what are you doing? I
will be there.
Thank you.
I'll have parental
I will be there, and I will be
responsibilities.
I will be chubbed the fuck up waiting for you.
He'll be exposing himself for the last joke.
Don't give me the beans on that.
I'm gonna be like, hey, spoiler alert. This is what he's gonna do at the end of the show.
I'm pretty sure
I'm pretty sure Tid just gave away my ending of the show, but here it is.
He blew the finish.
That's how I end. Have I already told you that? That's what it's called. I blew the finish.
Tid's
that's my Netflix special. I blew the finish. Right. You got to wait till the end.
Oh, you're going over to Sweden, are you?
Yeah, absolutely.
I blew the finish.
Tid's not a procreator, so he doesn't have to worry about that. So unfortunately, unfortunately, I'll have parental duties that night. But
how old are the kids? How old are your children?
Under 18.
16?
Settle down
for Jeff Leeson.
Children? Are they children?
Yes.
Too young for Jeff Leeson.
Yes.
No, I'm not asking I mean, because I was going to say bring them to the show, but not if they're like young kids.
Yeah, no. But what I'll do is this. I will extend the offer. If you get into town, lunch is on me. Okay? If you're in town and we can grab a bite to eat before your show, I got you. Okay? So you let me know and I got you. Before we say goodnight, I want to ask you this last question. There was a story this past weekend. Chase Koepka, a golfer, hit a fucking hole-in-one, and then he got showered in alcohol. Jeff Leeson, what's the most impressive athletic thing you've ever done in your life?
Outside of this show.
Yeah, well, that would have been my answer. I not enough. Well, I used to be a pretty good goalie, so I played on some championship hockey teams. My greatest accomplishment there was winning a skills competition in Pickering, Ontario.
Look at you.
Yeah. I
Here
still
I
have-
was fucking with you, and you're like, actually, I happen to be a.
I was a child. I mean, if you're talking about as an adult, the greatest thing I may have ever done is not fall down the stairs today. So that was a pretty good grasp I got on the railing, although I did pull an arm muscle.
The worst part is when you fall up the stairs. I've done that. Jeff, we will have your website and all your socials available up on godfathersofpodcasting.com. For anyone who missed part of this show, you can find it all up on godfathersofpodcasting.com. And we'll have the archive and the video up there. And of course, you can check it out right here on the Shuley Network or on Sunday night's Main Event. Jeff, we're right up against the clock. There's another show coming up on the network, so we got to fly. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right, Jeff Leeson, everybody. One of our favorites around here. JeffLeesonComedy.com. And Tid?
Till next time, take care of
Absolutely.
yourself and each other.
Well, I mean,
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks, don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care.